Hello again, and welcome back. I am going to talk about something kind of near and dear, kind of go along with the whole channel that I've been doing. And I'm going to talk about the anxiety myths and the reality, or as I'm going to call it, uh, anxiety myths busted in like 5 minutes or so, probably more like 10 because I talk a lot. All right, so myth number one. Anxiety is just worrying too much, right? That's what we all do. We overthink, we worry. That's why. Anxiety is a real mental health condition, everybody. I have been told this by many doctors. It affects your sleep, your appetite, your concentration, ADHD. It makes you kind of squirrely, right? It also isn't something you can just calm down from. A lot of people are like, well, if you have anxiety, just stop. Calm yourself down, relax. Don't stress out so much. That's number one. Number two, people with anxiety are weak, not strong mind. They can't do it themselves. Um, we're just weak. That's why we have anxiety. We can't handle things on our own. So we're just gonna, that's why we're weak. Anxiety doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a man, woman, child, old, young. If you're GI Joe, Army soldier, or if you're a teacher or anything in between. It doesn't discriminate. It affects strong, smart, resilient people, doctors, veterans, teachers, athletes, everybody in between. Okay, there's been athletes who quit the NFL and NBA and Major League Baseball and all the major sports. Why? Stress, anxiety, depression. Okay, so this isn't just a me thing or just a you thing. This is an everybody thing, like it or not. You can always tell if somebody has anxiety. You can tell if someone's anxious, they look nervous, right? For the longest time when I was teaching, I had lots of anxiety. Probably my students couldn't tell. Maybe they're going to leave messages saying they could. I don't think they could tell I had anxiety. I don't think I looked nervous. Maybe I did. But a lot of people don't look nervous. You can't tell what's going on in someone's head. A lot of times, people with anxiety, we self medicate, which I'm trying to get away from, and we do things to hide what's going on. High functioning anxiety is a real thing. Someone can be smiling on the outside, struggling on the inside. Never assume you know someone's mental state just by looking at them, because you can't tell if someone's schizophrenic, bipolar, depressed by their faces. There's a commercial out there that show people who deal with depression and they have like this happy face and then they remove it. They have a happy face, little piece of paper, and they remove it and magically they're sad. Okay, that isn't reality. We don't hold signs around. Okay, um, this is when I used to do the next myth a lot. If you ignore the anxiety, that's going to go away. Uh, it's not going to go away. Okay, anxiety is something you need to work through, deal with, medication, therapy, other things. Ignoring it can make it worse. Therapy, again, support, lifestyle changes, medication. You can learn how to deal with it and thrive and grow, but it's not something that just goes away when you go to bed at night. It doesn't come magically go away. Um, so that's you know the quick version of everything. Um, the big thing I'm also trying to figure out is if anxiety is a real thing, right? Um, how do I control it without just medication and therapy? Um, and that is a question that I am struggling with now because I'm doing the medication, I'm doing everything else. Um, and what a lot of people have told me is okay, breathe, ground yourself. Like some people say, take your shoes off while walk outside in the grass. I'm not ready for that. They also say something about the 4x4x4 method. Basically, you breathe in 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, exhale 4 seconds, and hold again for 4 seconds. That's supposedly supposed to calm your heart rate down, chill yourself out. Then there's a 5 4 3 2 1 method. Five things you can see, four things you can touch, three things you can hear, two things you can smell, one thing you can taste. And it kind of brings you back to reality. Um, I've done the 4x4x4 method. Haven't really tried the 5 4 3 2 1 method yet. I'll probably have to figure out that. They also said exercise. That's a big one people have told me. And while I've noticed is me doing physical labor, working on the deck or doing Legos or planting plants, helps for short term. I don't know if it helps long term. A lot of studies say it releases cortisol, which is, I guess, reduces cortisol, which I guess is your stress hormones. It brings it down and it releases endorphins, which brings the calming effect. I'm not quite there yet, I guess. but I'll keep trying. Um, Lack of sleep, big one. Consistent sleep. So you go to bed at the same time, wake up at the same time. Try not to be on your phone so much before going to bed. That's a big one for me. I'm really bad at that. And then bedtime routines, which if you've ever been to any doctor, they talk about, sleep hygiene. Um, I'm really bad at that too. Now, I try to go to bed at the same time every night with my wife. I try to do a very similar routine with every night. Not every night works, of course. Some nights are worse than others. I try to get up around the same time, but my sleep isn't that good. I don't sleep deep. That's my issue. Is I wake up a lot. Um, a lot of people tell me, "Oh, it's your diet. Too much caffeine, too much sugar, too much alcohol." Well, I haven't had caffeine now for about almost a a little over a week now. Actually, a week yesterday. So that's hopefully out of my system. I don't drink alcohol. Sugar is another one. I do still have too much sugar, and I'm working on that. That's going to take time. Being not drinking enough water, being dehydrated, not eating enough. These are two things I skip a lot of too. I don't drink enough water, and I don't eat when I should. My regular meals aren't as good. I eat dinner pretty normally. Breakfast and lunch, it depends on the minute of the day. Um, Social media, dealing with online stuff, watching the news, stress in the world. Basically, don't watch things that make you anxious. Well, in today's world, that's almost impossible. Everything out there is stressful. And that's just something I don't know how to get around. Uh, from everything from, veterans attacking people to us going to war with the country to the president doing one thing and Congress doing something else and the Supreme Court doing something else and this state hates this state and everything in between. Um, Getting away from that's going to be hard, if not impossible. Then a lot of people have told me the same thing, which is journaling or brain dump, dumping out everything else. And that's kind of what this is about. I'm doing this as like a version of a digital journal. Um, Writing is difficult for me by hand. My arms don't work like they used to. And I like to verbalize my train of thought, which doesn't always work well when you're trying to write it down. Uh, so I'm working on the video journal, which is what we do every day, Monday through Friday. Talking to someone's safe. Uh, Again, I talk to a guy once, a couple times a week, just kind of check in, see how you're doing, see how I'm doing. We talk about things. Again, I do this, and when I do this, some people message me or talk to me afterwards, which is great. Um, and that seems to help too for a short period of time. Not always. When I'm really stressed, I'll call up somebody and we talk for a little bit, and it does feel better. Um, Routines, again, a lot about routines, and I don't know I don't know why routines are supposed to be good. I haven't figured that out yet. I'm still working through that, so we'll deal with that, sometime. Um, the thing I don't like, one of the things they did say a lot to me in therapy and other places is challenge your thoughts if it's anxiety. Is it real? Um, how would you explain it to somebody? And will it still matter in 6 months? To me, if I'm anxious about it, it's real. Will it still matter in 6 months? Some of my anxiety, I don't know if I'll be here in 6 months. So I think that also is a stressor for me because it's telling me, oh, well, will you be here in 6 months? I mean, will it matter in 6 months? Well, I don't know. I don't know if I'll be here in 6 months. And that's why I'm stressing out about it. And why should I worry? Why should I not worry about it? Why should I not just deal with it um, and deal with it now? And that's just, to me, that's just why I worry about something in 6 months. Yesterday I went to group therapy and they talked about what's the leading causes of what's causing your stress, what's causing your anxiety. Um, Traumatic events, PTSD. If you've been around anything where your life is in danger. Okay, well, that could be it. Exposure to violence, explosions, destructions. Well, yeah. Uh, when you deploy, you become hyper vigilant. You panic a lot, then you get PTSD. Okay, all those things kind of connect together. And guess what? Yeah, those are hard to shut off. So you deal with it. Um, Separation from family. I was away from my family for on and off 2 years. Makes it difficult to um, have that calming relationship in your family. Calming, knowing, okay, tomorrow my wife will be here, my kids will be here, and I know that they're safe. When you're not around somebody that you love a lot and you feel like it's your job to protect them, then magically they're no longer there because you can't be with them because of this. You miss birthdays, holidays, people dying. When I was deployed, someone I cared about died. He was a cool guy, but he passed away, and I could do nothing about it. I couldn't go to his funeral because he wasn't immediate family. Military only let you leave basically if your mother or your siblings or your spouse or kids die. We're also always on alert. Even when you're stateside, the military can change what they're doing with you every second of the day. There's never an off duty when you're wearing a uniform. Doesn't matter if you're Air Force, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, Space Force, I guess. I don't know, Army. Um, you're always on. You're always there. You're always ready to go. And then a couple of the big ones for me, um, losing friends in combat or accidents, having the survivor guilt. I knew people got hurt overseas worse or died overseas, and I didn't. I got hurt, but not as bad as they did. I got, and sometimes you feel guilty about that. You feel guilty because, oh my God, why is it okay for them to happen to them? Um, that's not fair. Why am I standing upright when a couple of the guys I know over there died later on from, you know, crazy diseases that we got that the military just acknowledged. I'm okay-ish compared to them. Um, morals were really worked. Um, I'm a very peaceful guy. I care about human life. I care about human dignity. But when you're in a war zone, death is part of it. You can't do anything about it. You have to deal with death, and you have to cut corners on certain things. Now, I didn't curse, go me, but there was other moral things I had to shut off. Um, my lifestyle is to protect kids and to protect widows, orphans, people who need protection, right? If you've ever heard me once or heard me the first time today, I've been hardwired to help people who have no one to help them. I was in a country where kids were orphaned all day, every day. There was homeless kids in the street. There were kids with no legs. There was families with no mom or dad or one or the other or both. Um, there was whole villages where all the men were dead. I had to be okay and just walk away. That's tough. Really, really, really tough to do. I struggled with that immensely. Um, I also struggled with sleep deprivation because, shockingly, you don't sleep a lot. And I think I had sleep issues before I deployed, but it got a lot worse when I got home. A lot worse after because we would go 20, 24, 36 hours. Sometimes I wouldn't sleep. You get used to that over a year. Magically, you don't sleep right when you get home. Um, and the last couple of things really for me were um, TBI, got hit in the head a few times. Then I got home and got hit in the head more. Um, that doesn't do well. Your brain realigns your signals, and certainly certain things just don't fit the same way. They don't work the same way. And you kind of just have to deal with it. The last big thing is a stigma. Um, I talked about this yesterday and probably the day before. There is a giant stigma with anxiety, stress, depression, and in the Army or military in general. If you have a mental health disorder, the Army or the military is going to do one of two things: take away your weapon, lock you up in a pad room, kick you out, or nothing. And with those two options really only being available, if you're not, if you're somebody who wants to stay in and they love what they do and they want to succeed and thrive and grow, you just don't have mental health issues because you're worried if you do, you're going to be gone and they're going to make you leave. Um, when I came home after Afghanistan, the VA gave me a number and they basically said you can't do the Army anymore. I had nerve damage, couldn't feel the trigger. Um, I tried to waive that paperwork so my unit wouldn't get it so I could stay in. Now, my wife talked me out of it, and the VA said, well, you can't do that. But I tried. I actually tried to redeploy again. Because of that, I wanted to continue on what I was doing because I enjoyed it. I felt um, there was a team. I liked being part of that team. I liked being part of one group. Um, I liked being needed in a positive way. Now, did I also hate the death, the violence, the destruction, the outright inhumanity? Yes. I also felt, probably God complex here a little bit. I also felt that if I was there, I could stop some people from doing stupid things and getting hurt or getting other people hurt. So I'm like, oh, I'll do that and I'll go. But I didn't, thankfully. I did stay home and I did get myself taken care of physically. And now finally I'm getting myself taken care of mentally. But that's the thing. And I told you it'd be more than 5 minutes. I have dealt with this stress and anxiety for years. And I've dealt with it because I needed to I needed to exist. I needed to thrive. I needed to grow. And if if I couldn't, then I felt like um what was I doing? You know. So today's pretty simple, pretty quick, pretty painless. I'm gonna call it, anxiety myths in like I'll say 20 minutes, less than 20 minutes. I'll make a little title for it. But that's the thing, okay? Um, Normal people, non-military, have stress, have anxiety. Um, they have different things that trigger it, and I probably have those same things too. I haven't looked into that because the only therapists I've seen right now are military people. But I might look into what causes anxiety for the norms, um, for the people who have normal backgrounds, normal lives, and maybe I can figure that out. Positive note. Um, Reached out to another one of my old students yesterday when I hadn't heard from in forever. She graduated high school. Congrats. And she looks like she's doing well. One of the kids I've talked about before in one of my older podcasts, kind of giving a raw deal. And her and her brother both were. Um, but good kid who needed someone to stand in the gap, and not everyone wanted to for her because she was, on the wrong side of the tracks type crap. And I did because I didn't care. I don't care about tracks and what people needed, what people think I should do. I just don't care. I will support anybody if they need it. Um, so that's it for today. Thank you all for watching. I need 3 hours more of view time. So hopefully, after today's episode, I'll get that. And I need 5 more subscribers. Um, I don't know 5, but they said that's the milestone I need to hit by July 20th or whatever. 5 more. So that'd be cool. And so if you want to do that, do it. I'm going to send this video out again. Now, yesterday's video was kind of a hot topic. I actually said at the end I was going to share it with everybody. So what I did was I literally sent it to a whole bunch of presidents, senators, congresspeople, because of I'm tired of people, soldiers or not being given the mental health care that they need and being brushed aside. It shouldn't require us to be a senator or an athlete to get right mental health. It shouldn't require us to be someone super important to get the mental health we need. If we have a pulse, we have a heart that's beating, blood that's flowing, a brain that's working, we should be allowed and able to get mental health anywhere, at any time. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day.